Okay, Jim, just another real quick. So we went. This is when you and I were talking this morning, and I made that other video, and it had dropped below this the 3811 number, and then started trading. And I showed you. Oh, I was down like the 400 or 500, but it had wicked. Oh yeah, it had wicked down here, which would have put it at. Oh yeah, so the profit would have been around 800, and since then we've broken down even further. Now this was that gap that it says it's going to want to fill. So 38.31 down to 38.05, and I went and saw that what that is let me move my screen a little bit and I'll show you that this gap is that sometime in the middle of the night back here a few days ago it jumped. So the market was closed right here, and then so the nighttime session was going. So this is what it did at night, and then it did this, and then the daytime session opened in the morning, and this is what they're calling a gap. He's calling a gap. That is, there was no real trading going on. It was only nighttime trading, and I'll explain that later. But there's usually never hardly very much volume at all at night unless there's some big event. So most of these gaps get filled. So if we were to remove these candlesticks where there was no volume, then it would just look like the market stopped and then the market opened right here. All right, so that's a gap. There's a big blank spot, no trading that happened as far as most people can tell, even though we've seen it at night trading. So now we're reaching, okay, I'll go back to where we're at. So now it's starting to reach down into that gap. And this is where you start getting resistance. I can't really explain. I had someone explain to me why there's a lot of buy-in that happens inside of these gaps, but they typically these gaps typically always get filled. So to fill this gap completely, it's got to go to 38.05, 38.05, according to the notes we saw from Robert Dunn. And then also if I had my chart preferences correct, then we would see this gap in the chart, but we're not seeing it real well at the moment. So now I've got $1,000 profit on 3 contracts. The one I did it overnight, that it was a loser, started coming back down and got back into this area, so I added another short. It broke the 38.11, I added another short. It went to this the 38.92 support level, so it went to that 38.92 support level and sort of paused a little bit. This is oh, what the heck? This is a 20-minute time frame chart. Every candlestick is 20 minutes. So here's the third short, just below the 39.11. Sorry. And we went through the 38.92 after a pause, and here we are heading down to that gap. There was some profit taking or short sellers that are buying to cover or something that causes this, or people buying the dip. And so now I'll just see if it's going to go on through. And this little guideline that we're doing at the moment, or this roadmap, is something that will continue the next day and the next day. So it's like you'll get this memorized in your head in different time frames. I'm going to show you how I changed the time frame. Right now we're at 20 minute. All right, I can go to an hour time frame and see me right here. I can go to Now once I'm in the minute time frame, I can just click on the chart and I can type 90 and hit enter, and it will take me to a 90-minute time frame. But so I can put in 240. Now I'm in a 240 time frame. That little box I created makes that look like a wick. It's not a wick. So I'll go back to 60. I'll go back to 20. 30. And now you can sort of see the roadmap and little different zoom levels. There you go. Another 5 minutes. Oh, notice I brought my my stop down to where, I mean, at first it was I brought it down to where I had enough to buy me me and my wife a steak dinner, or me and you a steak dinner, and then I moved it down a couple hundred. I moved it to right above that candlestick because when it started going back up, that's where it stopped and came down. So I moved it there, and then when it did this, it bounced back up and went that high, and then came down. Then I had my stop there for a while, and then it did it again. It went up, and this went up that high, and now I have my stop above that. And now I'm going to get pretty close to, if I start seeing it whip in fast and then come back out fast, and it starts getting volatile in here, I'll take profit. Maybe 2 of them, and then let the other one ride. All right, 6 minutes, 40 seconds. Ciao.